The wind screamed across the high plains as Eli Thornton rode out alone beneath a vast, bruised and restless sky. He pulled his hat lower and squinted through the choking dust toward the old abandoned Silver Creek mine shaft entrance. A faint silhouette of a girl stumbled near the mine entrance, her torn dress whipping wildly in the fierce storm. Eli dismounted quickly and rushed to her, shouting over the gale, "Miss, are you badly hurt out here all alone?" She looked up with wild green eyes and clutched a tarnished small silver locket pressed tightly against her trembling chest. He wrapped his duster around her and lifted her onto his horse, speaking gently to calm her deep shivering fear. They rode hard through the storm to his isolated ranch house, the only light flickering in the small kitchen window. Inside, he settled her by the fire and wrapped a wool blanket around her fragile, dirt-smudged shoulders so tenderly. She finally spoke in a cracked whisper. "I don't remember my name, only the locket and the cold canyon wind." Eli nodded slowly and examined the small silver locket, his rough fingers tracing the delicate engraved initials on its back. He pried it open with care and found a faded photograph of a woman with kind eyes and familiar smile. His blood ran cold because the woman in the picture was his own mother, who died 20 long years ago. He stared at the girl and whispered, "Who are you, and how did you survive this dreadful storm all alone?" She looked into his eyes and replied, "I only remember the name Clara, and this locket feels like my home." Eli decided to let her stay and regain strength while he searched for clues about the locket's strange, mysterious origin. Over the next few days, Clara helped with the chores, her gentle presence slowly filling the empty, silent old ranch. One evening, Eli found a hidden compartment in the locket containing a tiny scrap of paper with strange, odd symbols. He recognized the symbols as an old cipher used by his father in the mining days, long past and forgotten. Together, they decoded the message which read, "Seek the twin pines where the moon kisses the canyon wall at midnight." Clara gasped, because she had seen that place in her fleeting dreams every single restless night since arriving here. That very night, the greedy land baron Silas Kane rode up with 2 hired guns, demanding to see the girl. Eli stood on the porch and said, "She's under my protection, Kane, and you'll not touch a hair on her." Kane sneered, "That locket belongs to my claim, and the girl knows the way to my lost secret gold mine." Before guns could be drawn, Clara stepped out and declared, "I'll go with you only if you answer one thing." Kane, surprised by her boldness, nodded and asked, "What exactly do you want to know, my curious little mystery girl?" Clara looked him in the eye and said, "Why did you murder Eli's father years back and steal his map?" Kane's face turned pale, and his men shifted uneasily because no one outside knew that terrible, dark secret ever. Seizing the moment, Eli tackled one gunman while Clara threw a lantern at the other, causing sudden, blinding, complete chaos. They fled on horseback into the dark canyon, following the map's clue toward the twin pines under bright, silvery moonlight. At the base of the pines, Clara knelt and dug with her hands, uncovering a rusted iron box buried deep. Inside the box lay a leather journal and a faded deed, along with a heartfelt letter from Eli's own mother. The letter revealed that Clara was the granddaughter of the original ranch owners, betrayed by Eli's cruel, greedy father. Eli's father had taken the land, but his mother secretly preserved the locket and the truth for enduring justice someday. Clara wept as she read, realizing that Eli's mother had saved the locket for her, hoping for true redemption. Eli pulled Clara into his arms and whispered, "My father's sin will not define our story. I promise you that." They found the deed and a map to the hidden gold vein that Kane had desperately sought for long decades. Suddenly, Kane emerged from the shadows with a smoking rifle, having tracked them through those narrow, twisting canyon paths below. He snarled, "The gold is mine by force, and neither of you will leave this canyon alive this very night." Clara stepped forward and said, "You killed Eli's father, but you never found the real treasure because it is forgiveness." Kane laughed cruelly, but his laughter was cut short when a rifle shot echoed from the ridge high above them. The local sheriff and a posse of honest ranchers had followed Kane, having suspected his treachery for many long years. Kane dropped his rifle and was quickly bound, finally facing the justice that had eluded him for so very long. Ely and Clara returned to the ranch with the gold, restoring the land to Clara and building a new future. The journal also revealed that the canyon held an ancient healing spring that cured sick livestock and brought abundant life. Clara, now remembering fragments, realized her grandmother had once tended that very spring as a small child so long ago. Overwhelmed with emotion, she turned to Eli and said, "This land has always been my true home. Your mother knew." Eli smiled. "She left that locket as a bridge between our families, and now I understand her deep love completely." They used the gold to build a school and a clinic, honoring the memory of his mother and her grandmother. The ranch flourished, and the canyon spring became a place of hope, drawing settlers from far and wide, all peacefully. 1 year later, Eli knelt by that very spring and asked Clara to be his wife beneath the twin pines. She said yes with tears of joy, and the locket now held their tiny photograph together, a new beginning forever. Please saddle up and subscribe to West Old Stories Official, and tell us your thoughts in the comments below, partner. Don't forget to like this video and ring the bell for more untamed Western curiosities right now, my dear friend. On their wedding night, Clara discovered a hidden second latch inside the locket that they had overlooked completely before. Inside was a tiny folded parchment with a map drawn in ink leading to a sacred cave beyond the ridge. The map was signed by his mother with a note, "Only true hearts unlock the healing heart of this land." Intrigued, they rode out at dawn and found the cave behind a waterfall that shimmered like pure flowing molten gold. Inside, ancient cave paintings depicted a story of two families united by a sacred spring centuries and centuries ago. Clara traced the images and realized her lineage and Eli's were always destined to heal this broken valley together. In a stone alcove, they found a chest containing ancient gold coins and a peace pipe of the native tribe. As they touched the pipe, a gentle echo seemed to whisper blessings in a language older than ancient memory itself. They understood that their union was not chance, but a healing of a wound that had festered for long generations. They brought the peace pipe to the tribal elder, who wept and said the land would finally know harmony again. News spread, and settlers and natives gathered for a great feast, ending decades of distrust and silent, bitter old hatred. Kane's son, a bitter young man named Roy, watched from the shadows, plotting to steal the sacred treasure for revenge. That night, Roy crept into the ranch and stole the locket, believing it held the key to the cave's riches. Clara woke and saw the empty spot on her nightstand, immediately knowing who had taken it with malicious, cruel intent. She and Eli tracked Roy to the cave, where he frantically tried to open a stone door using their locket. But the door would not budge because the locket required the touch of both their hands united in pure love. Roy screamed in frustration, and Eli calmly said, "Only forgiveness opens this door, not greed or stolen power by itself." Roy fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face, finally understanding the emptiness of his father's dark, bitter legacy. Clara approached him with the locket and said, "Help us open it, and let this be your step to peace." Roy hesitated, then placed his hand over theirs on the locket, and the stone door slowly rumbled open wide anew. Inside the chamber lay a crystal-clear pool that reflected the stars, even though there was no sky visible above. The water held a soft luminescence, and Clara knew it was the sacred healing heart the note had promised them. Eli cupped his hands and drank, feeling a profound peace wash over his soul, washing away years of deep guilt. Roy also drank, and the bitterness in his heart dissolved, replaced by an overwhelming urge to make things truly right. He confessed his father's crimes publicly, returning stolen lands to the tribe and the ranch to Clara permanently forever. The valley prospered under a new council where settlers and natives shared governance, guided by the locket's true eternal legacy. Clara soon discovered she was carrying Eli's child, a symbol of the united bloodlines and hope for the bright future. They named their daughter Hope, and she was born in the very ranch house where Clara first found safe refuge. As Hope grew, she loved to hear the story of the locket, the cave, and the healing spring of forgiveness. The locket was passed to her on her 16th birthday, along with the journal and a map to Twin Pines. She often visited the spring with her parents, feeling the ancient peace and hearing whispers of both grandmothers' love. One day, a traveling historian arrived, intrigued by the legend of the locket that could unlock a sacred healing spring. He asked to see the locket and revealed it was crafted by a Spanish silversmith many long centuries ago. This deepened the mystery, connecting their story to a larger tapestry of love spanning vast continents and mysterious, endless epochs. Hope grew into a wise woman, and on her wedding day, she stood at the Twin Pines with her true love. There, she opened the locket and found a new tiny photograph of her parents smiling, placed by Clara that morning. The cycle of love and redemption continued, and the locket remained a beacon of hope for the entire wide valley. Years passed, and Eli and Clara grew old together, always keeping the locket safe on the warm old mantelpiece. One crisp autumn evening, Eli took Clara's hand and said, "We lived the story the locket wanted us to live." She smiled and replied, "And our love will echo in its silver heart for all the generations yet to come." The story of the rancher and the girl became legend, told around campfires and in cabins throughout the Old West. Many searched for the healing spring, but only those with pure hearts could ever find that mystic hidden cave again. And somewhere, in the quiet of the canyon, the locket's legacy lived on in the laughter of playing happy children. Eli's great-grandson, a young cowboy named Thomas, found the old journal and decided to retrace the entire journey by himself. He rode to the Twin Pines and stood where his ancestors once stood, feeling the weight of their love enduring. The locket had been passed down to him, and he wore it around his neck as a talisman of hope forever. Thomas discovered a new inscription on the locket's rim that read, "When the sun kisses the spring, the heart heals." He realized the spring's power was tied to the solstice, and so he waited for the solstice's longest day patiently. On that morning, he rode to the cave and placed the locket where the sun struck the pool at noon. The water began to glow brilliantly, and a vision of Eli and Clara appeared, blessing him with their love eternal. Thomas wept, understanding that the locket was not just a key, but a living memory of all who loved truly. He returned to the ranch and shared the vision, strengthening the community's faith in the healing spring's ancient magic. The valley became known as a place of miracles, drawing seekers of peace from distant cities and far lonely homesteads. A small chapel was built near the Twin Pines, and couples came to pledge their vows with the locket witness. Hope's daughter, a spirited girl named Grace, inherited the locket on her 18th birthday with great reverence and joy. Grace had a curious mind and deciphered older markings on the locket that spoke of a lost Spanish treasure ship. The markings told of a galleon wrecked in a desert canyon during a flash flood centuries before anyone ever settled. Intrigued, Grace and her sweetheart, a young blacksmith named Luke, set out to find the fabled legendary wreck together. They followed a dry arroyo for miles until they spotted the ancient ship's mast protruding ghost-like from the lonely sand. Inside the hull, they discovered a chest of gold coins and a captain's log that mentioned the legendary healing spring. The log described a sailor who was healed by the spring after a terrible fever, sparking the captain's dark obsession. Grace realized that the locket's true purpose was to guide the worthy to treasures that would heal, not enrich greed. She and Luke used the gold to build a school for native children and a hospital beside the healing spring. The legacy of the locket stretched across generations, always returning to those who loved with selfless and pure true hearts. Thomas grew old and entrusted the locket to a young orphan girl wandering alone near Twin Pines one golden sundown. Her name was Lily, and she had the same wild green eyes as Clara from so many decades before, astonishing all. Lily felt an instant connection to the locket and knew she was meant to continue its sacred mission of love. She opened the locket and found a new photograph of herself with Thomas, placed the night before by hands unseen. Lily understood that the locket was not just a relic, but a living bridge between all souls who chose love. She vowed to protect it and share its story, knowing that kindness was the truest treasure of the wild frontier. The locket still rests in the valley, passed from hand to hand, always finding its way to a needing heart. And if you ever wander the west and find twin pines, listen close. You might hear the locket's gentle love whisper.